He was halfway through the forest patrol when it came, soft, trembling, a child's voice. "I'm lost in the woods." He froze. The trees swallowed the sound, sending it from everywhere at once. His dog growled, ears pinned, staring into the black. And then the voice came again. Louder. Closer. The forest was quiet in that way that never felt natural, no wind, no birds, no night creatures. Just the steady crunch of boots on pine needles and the soldier's own breath fogging in the cold night air. His rifle hung ready across his chest, flashlight beams slicing through mist that clung low to the ground. The German shepherd at his side padded silently, ears twitching, nose flaring at every subtle shift in the dark. He'd been on patrol for nearly an hour, moving deeper into the woods, following no trail but the compass in his vest. It was supposed to be routine: check the perimeter, log the terrain, make sure the abandoned logging roads weren't being used again. Nothing unusual. Nothing alive. Then it came. Soft. Fragile. Trembling. "I'm lost in the woods." The soldier froze mid-step. His boot hovered above the ground, refusing to land. His breath locked in his throat. The shepherd stopped too, ears pricking forward, body rigid. A low growl built in his chest. The soldier's heart hammered. He swung the flashlight in a wide arc, beam cutting across trunks and branches, chasing the sound. Nothing but trees. Mist swirling, catching light like dust. Empty. But the voice had been real. He'd heard it as clearly as if someone had spoken right into his ear. A child's voice. He whispered into his mic instinctively. "Control, I've got movement. Possible civilian contact." Static answered. The signal was gone. The soldier's throat tightened. He adjusted his grip on the rifle, forcing his boots to set down quietly. His whisper broke the silence. "Hello? Who's out there?" The woods swallowed his words. No echo, no answer. Just silence. The shepherd growled louder now, teeth flashing as he sniffed hard into the dark. His body angled left, then right, then froze on a point deeper between the trees. The soldier followed his gaze, flashlight steady. "Who's there?" His voice was louder now, commanding. "Step out where I can see you." Silence. Then again. Closer this time. "I'm lost in the woods." The soldier's blood ran cold. The voice wasn't directional. It wasn't left, right, or ahead. It was everywhere. The words drifted from the trees themselves, like the forest was carrying them. The shepherd's growl turned to a sharp bark. He lunged at the leash, dragging the soldier a step forward, snarling at the darkness. The soldier hissed. "Easy." But his own voice cracked. He scanned again, sweeping the beam fast now. Nothing. The girl's voice came once more, softer this time, like a plea. "Please. I'm lost." The soldier's hands trembled. He had rescued children before, crying in wreckage, whispering from locked rooms, screaming in smoke. But never this. Never in the woods, never without a body, without direction. He crouched low, steadying his voice. "Hold on. Keep talking. I'll find you." Silence. The shepherd barked furiously, snapping teeth at shadows. His body was carved from tension, his nose pointed into the dark as though he could see something his handler couldn't. The soldier swallowed hard. He raised his rifle, flashlight fixed forward, and took a step deeper into the trees. And that's when the voice came again. This time, directly behind him. "I'm lost in the woods." His blood turned to ice. He froze, chest heaving, finger hovering over the trigger. The shepherd whipped around, snarling into the void, teeth bared at the black behind them. The soldier didn't turn. Couldn't. His training screamed to check his six, but every instinct now screamed something else entirely. Stay still. Don't move. Don't break the fragile distance between him and the voice. His breath fogged white in the beam, hanging like smoke. And then the voice whispered one more time, softer than breath, slipping through the trees like it belonged here. Help me. The soldier's finger tightened against the trigger guard, but he didn't fire. His boots stayed planted, chest locked, eyes forward. He had faced ambushes, mortars, hidden fire, but never a voice that came from everywhere and nowhere at once. The shepherd's body told another story. Hackles spiked, tail stiff, lips curled back over white teeth. He pulled at the leash, nose flaring, snarling into the black as though an enemy crouched right there, just beyond the soldier's light. The soldier whispered, barely audible even to himself. Easy, boy, we'll find them. But his words were swallowed whole. The forest answered with silence, thicker, heavier, deliberate. Then the voice returned, farther away this time, drifting through the pines. I'm lost in the woods. The soldier swung his beam toward it, boots crunching forward across needles. His heart pounded so loud he wondered if the voice could hear it. Stay put, he called. His own shout startled him. It sounded too loud, too raw, tearing across a space that gave no echo. I'm coming to you. Keep talking. The shepherd barked savagely, jerking the leash, almost pulling the rifle off its aim. He didn't want to move forward. His entire stance screamed one thing: don't follow that voice. But the soldier forced a step anyway. Then another. The mist thickened. His beam fractured on it, scattering across tree trunks like broken glass. Every shadow seemed to twist, too long, too sharp. He crouched low, scanning. Where are you? Call again. Silence. Then, faint, to his right this time. I'm lost. The soldier pivoted, rifle steady, beam cutting into the trees. Again, nothing. The shepherd lunged opposite, snarling at the left flank instead. His growl was deep, primal, vibrating through the leash into the soldier's arm. The soldier's jaw clenched. He trusted the dog's nose more than his own ears. But the voice, it was a child's. He couldn't ignore it. He pressed deeper into the trees. The ground softened underfoot, damp moss swallowing sound until only his breath and the dog's growl remained. Then, closer. Right in front of him. Help me. The soldier froze, breath tearing out. His light swept fast. Nothing. Not a face. Not a body. The shepherd exploded, barking furiously at his rear, dragging him around with sheer force. The soldier nearly fired into the dark. Behind them, the voice echoed again, this time softer, more desperate. I'm lost in the woods. His throat tightened. He had walked barely 30 meters, yet it felt like the forest folded around him, closing corridors, shuffling sound like cards in a deck. He pulled the radio from his vest, voice harsh. Control, I've got a child's voice out here, unknown origin. Possible distress, requesting backup at grid. Static. Nothing else. The line was dead. The shepherd stiffened suddenly, muscles hard as stone, ears pinned forward. His nose worked the air in sharp bursts. A deep rumble built low in his chest, rising, trembling. The soldier followed his gaze, flashlight shaking in his hand. Something shifted between the trees. Not a person. Not quite. Too tall. Too narrow. A blur swallowed by mist before the beam could catch detail. His breath froze. His boots slid back half an inch, instinct driving him to retreat. And then, from the exact same direction, the child's voice. Closer than ever. Please, help me. I'm lost. The shepherd snarled and barked at the same spot, leash stretched to breaking. His teeth snapped at air. His body screamed threat, danger, enemy. The soldier's chest hammered. His training screamed to trust the dog. But the voice, so small, so fragile, cut through it all. He raised his rifle higher, light fixed, boots dragging him forward despite the pull in his gut. His whisper escaped before he could stop it. "Where are you?" The forest answered in a dozen directions at once. "I'm lost in the woods." The soldier pushed deeper into the pines, boots sinking into damp earth, breath fogging hard against the cold. The forest pressed tighter around him, trunks crowding so close they felt like walls. The shepherd strained against the leash, growling in bursts, nose snapping left then right as though the whole wood stank of danger. The voice had gone quiet. Too quiet. The silence now was worse than the whispers. It hung heavy, deliberate, a silence that waited. Then his beam caught something on the ground. He crouched low, rifle angled, flashlight steady. There in the soft soil, prints. Small. Barefoot. Child's footprints. His chest locked. He glanced at the shepherd, who growled deeper, nose low, body rigid. The dog didn't like this trail. The soldier followed the line with his light. The prints led forward into the mist, small toes pressed into mud, heels sinking deeper. The weight looked real. He whispered, almost to himself. "There you are." The shepherd barked once, sharp and violent. His body yanked against the leash, pulling the soldier away from the prints. His growl vibrated so hard it felt like the leash itself hummed. But the soldier pressed on, eyes fixed on the path. The prints moved in a neat line, winding through the trees. He followed, boots careful, breath shallow. Then he stopped. The prints circled. He swept the light wider. The trail looped back around, curving into a half-moon. A few steps more and they rejoined the same patch of soil where he'd first seen them. A circle. His chest tightened. Children didn't walk in perfect loops. Not barefoot, not alone. The shepherd whined now, sharp and high, pulling harder away from the circle. His ears pinned back. His whole body screamed retreat. The soldier forced calm into his voice. "Footprints don't lie." But his gut twisted. Because these did. He crouched lower, examining closer. The soil wasn't disturbed like normal tracks. The toes pressed sharp, too uniform, each print almost identical. Copy-paste. He swept the beam across them again. His pulse spiked. Each print faced inward. Toward the center of the circle. The soldier rose fast, rifle snapping up, beam flashing to the center patch of ground. Empty. The shepherd barked furiously, snarling into the mist. His teeth clicked as he snapped at shadows. Then, out of the silence, the voice. "I'm lost in the woods." This time it came from the circle itself. From the empty center where no one stood. The soldier's chest crushed in on itself. His grip on the rifle trembled. The girl's voice rose again, softer, pleading. "Help me." The shepherd lunged, dragging the leash taut, barking savagely at the empty space. His whole body was rage and terror. The soldier's boots slid back half an inch. For the first time, he considered leaving the trail, abandoning the prints. His training screamed against it, you don't ignore a child's cry for help. But his instinct whispered another rule, you don't follow bait. He forced air into his lungs. "Where are you?" His voice cracked. The forest answered with whispers from all directions at once. "I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods." Overlapping. Dozens of voices. All children. The shepherd howled, a raw, primal sound, pulling him backward, away from the circle. The soldier staggered, rifle shaking. His throat was dry. His choice was tearing him in half. Forward into the prints, or trust the dog. His boots stayed frozen at the edge of the circle. And then, softer than breath, right at his shoulder, the voice whispered one more time. "You're lost too." The soldier's boots stayed locked at the edge of the circle. His rifle trembled in his grip, flashlight fixed on the empty ground where the voices rose. The prince stared back at him, perfect, identical, all pointing inward like a noose. The shepherd yanked hard at the leash, snarling into the mist, body angled away from the circle. His growl rattled through the soldier's arm. The soldier's breath came harsh, too loud in the dead silence. He whispered, almost to himself, "This isn't right." The voice came again. A child's voice, trembling. "I'm lost in the woods." This time it came from the right side of the circle. Then from the left. Then from behind him. The forest bent the sound, throwing it like a trick. The shepherd barked savagely, spinning half around, dragging the soldier backward by sheer force. His body screamed one thing: "Don't step in that circle." The soldier forced his boots still. His training screamed, "A child's voice means rescue." But his gut twisted hard now. Every hair on his neck prickled. He crouched low, beam steady on the prince. The soil didn't look natural. The depth of the toes and heels were identical, every step pressed with the same weight. Human tracks never matched so perfectly. He muttered, voice shaking, "That's not how you walk." The shepherd lunged again, pulling him back another step, snapping his teeth at shadows only he could smell. Then, from the circle, the voice sharpened. "Please, don't leave me." The soldier's throat locked. His heart wrenched at the sound. Every part of him wanted to step forward, to scoop a child into his arms, to save. That's what he did. That's who he was. But the shepherd's growl rose into a full snarl, tail rigid, teeth bared, body trembling with fury. He pulled toward the trees, away from the prince, toward a narrow game trail barely visible in the mist. The soldier's chest tore between choices. He whispered into the night. "Where are you?" Silence. Then the voice again, this time louder, desperate. "Help me! I'm lost." The soldier's rifle rose. His boots slid an inch closer to the circle. The shepherd exploded, barking savagely, lunging sideways so hard it nearly yanked the leash from his grip. His whole body hurled toward the hidden trail, claws tearing soil. The soldier staggered, nearly falling. He caught himself, rifle jerking upward, beam flashing wildly. The dog planted his paws, jerking against the leash, snarling like a beast at war. His nose was locked forward, his body tense. He wasn't confused anymore. He was tracking. The soldier froze. His chest heaved. Two paths. Forward, into the prince, into the voice. Or follow the shepherd, trust instinct, trust the animal that had saved his life more than once. His mind fractured between duty and survival. Then the voice shifted. It came from the trees themselves, overlapping, louder now. Not one child. Many. "I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods." The soldier's blood ran cold. The whispers overlapped in dozens of directions, weaving through the trees like the forest itself was chanting. The shepherd's bark cut through it, sharp and savage. He pulled harder toward the narrow trail, teeth snapping at the air. The soldier's decision came in a whisper, cracked and raw. "I trust you, boy." He wrenched the leash tight, yanking the shepherd close, then pushed forward into the game trail. The dog surged ahead, nose to the ground, body taut with purpose. Behind them, the voices rose in a storm. "Don't go! Don't go! Don't go!" The soldier's chest hammered as he forced his boots faster. He didn't look back at the circle. Not once. But the sound of whispers followed. And the faint echo of a child's cry still threaded through them. "Help me!" The shepherd surged forward, muscles rippling under his soaked fur, leash stretched to its limit. The soldier barely kept pace, boots slipping on damp moss, rifle raised in his free hand. He trusted the dog's nose more than anything now. If there was a way out, or a truth hidden in the forest, the shepherd would find it. The trail wound narrowed between close-packed pines. Branches clawed his sleeves, needles brushed his face. Mist crawled low, thick enough to choke the ground. Every step felt stolen, hurried. Behind them, the whispers faded but never left. They lingered just out of range, soft, overlapping, chasing. The shepherd halted suddenly, nose low to the soil. He sniffed, growled, then bolted left, dragging the soldier toward a leaning trunk. The beam of the flashlight caught it and froze him in place. Scratches. Deep, gouging marks torn into the bark, long and ragged, fresh sap bleeding down the grooves. Too high for a child. Too erratic for a knife. The soldier pressed his gloved hand against them. They were warm, faint heat bleeding out of the wood. His throat tightened. He stepped back fast. The shepherd snarled, nose pressing harder against the tree, body trembling. His tail was stiff, his growl low, steady, a warning that whatever made those marks wasn't far. The soldier swung his light wider. More trees. More scratches. A line of them, slashing diagonally across trunks, like something had barreled through, scraping, tearing, marking. He whispered under his breath. This wasn't a kid. The dog barked suddenly, snapping him from the thought. He lunged forward again, dragging the leash toward the misted path. The soldier followed, boots crunching on damp soil. His beam caught something pale tangled in undergrowth. Fabric. He crouched, pulling it free. A strip of cloth. Small. Frayed at the edges. His chest locked. It was patterned, blue with faded stars, the kind found on children's pajamas. The shepherd whined sharp and urgent, nose burying into the fabric, growling low. He pawed the soil, claws tearing moss. The soldier held the strip tight in his fist. A piece of truth. Or bait. The whispers rose again, closer now. Dozens of voices overlapping. I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods. The soldier's ears rang. He spun, rifle snapping toward the sound. His light slashed across trunks, mist, emptiness. The shepherd snarled, snapping his teeth at the dark. His ears twitched, head darting, nose frantic. The voices circled them like wolves. The soldier forced air into his lungs, whispering through clenched teeth. Keep moving. The dog bolted forward again, dragging him deeper into the trees. The path narrowed further, forcing him to duck under low branches. His beam cut across more trunks, each scarred with claw-like marks. He whispered, harsh now. It's leading us somewhere. The shepherd froze again. Nose high this time, nostrils flaring hard. His body quivered, stiff, ears pinned. He stared into the mist, growling with a sound the soldier had never heard before. The soldier's beam followed. At first, nothing. Just trees and fog. Then, movement. A shadow. Tall. Wrong. It slipped between trunks, too quick to catch, too long in limb. The soldier's heart hammered. The voices surged louder now, rising with it. A chorus. A demand. Help me, help me, help me. His chest locked. The cloth strip felt like fire in his fist. Real. Tangible. Proof of a child, or the perfect lure. The shepherd lunged, leash taut, snapping at the air, teeth flashing. His bark exploded into the silence, savage, desperate. The soldier whispered, broken. What the hell is this? The forest answered with silence. Then the voice returned, closer than ever. Directly ahead. Please. Don't leave me here. The soldier's stomach twisted. His boots rooted in the soil. He wanted to run forward, to drag the dog, to save whoever cried out. But his gut screamed another truth. The scratches. The looped footprints. The overlapping voices. Something here wasn't trying to be found. It was trying to keep him searching. The strip of fabric burned hot in the soldier's palm, heavier than it should have been. A child's pajama cloth, real, tangible. Proof of someone out here. Or bait. The shepherd yanked the leash forward again, body tense as wire. His nose cut the air in sharp bursts, hackles stiff, tail rigid. Every muscle screamed urgency. The soldier pushed deeper, boots crunching softly through moss and needles. The mist thickened, bending his beam until the light looked weak, swallowed whole by the trees. Silence stretched. Too long. Too thick. Then, the voice. Soft. Fragile. Childlike. I'm lost in the woods. The soldier froze, light snapping forward. The shepherd growled low, teeth flashing. Then the voice again, same words, same tremble. But lower. Heavier. A man's tone, almost mocking. I'm lost in the woods. The soldier's blood ran cold. His jaw clenched so hard it hurt. He swept the beam side to side, chest hammering. Who's out there? His shout cracked the silence. No answer. The shepherd barked violently, jerking toward the left, leash cutting into the soldier's hand. His body lunged, nose locked on something hidden in the fog. The soldier's throat tightened. Hold! His command broke raw, but the dog ignored, straining harder. The voice returned, this time split. Child and adult at once, overlapping. Help me, help me. The soldier's skin crawled. His breath came ragged. He'd heard echoes in caves, in cities, in canyons. But this was an echo. This was duplication. The shepherd snapped his teeth, barking savagely into the mist. The soldier raised his rifle higher, light fixed forward. His boots dragged one step closer. His whisper cracked out. Say where you are. The voices overlapped again, splitting, merging, twisting. Here, here, here. From ahead. From behind. From above. The soldier spun halfway before catching himself, forcing his gaze forward. His pulse pounded so hard it blurred his vision. The shepherd's bark tore through the storm of whispers. He lunged sideways, dragging his handler toward a hollow between two leaning pines. The soldier stumbled, flashlight beams snapping across trunks. For a heartbeat, he saw something. Small. Human-shaped. Standing still. A child. His chest lurched. He froze, light steady. Hey! Stay where you are. The shape didn't move. Mist curled around it, swallowing the edges. The shepherd snarled savagely, body stiff, teeth gnashing. The soldier took one step forward. The shape flickered. Tall one moment, small the next. Thin, stretched. Wrong. His breath locked. He whispered through his teeth, not real. The voices surged, hundreds now, screaming, whispering, crying, child and adult, high and low, overlapping until the forest itself shook. I'm lost, help me. I'm lost in the woods. The shepherd howled, a raw, primal sound, dragging him hard left. His claws tore the soil, his body refusing to move closer to the shape. The soldier's choice burned like fire. Follow the voice, the shape, the bait, or follow the dog's unshakable instinct. He yanked the leash, muttering, cracked and hoarse, I'm with you, boy. The shepherd bolted forward on his chosen line, deeper into the mist. The soldier followed, breath-tearing, rifle steady though his hand shook. Behind them, the voices rose into a storm, chasing them through the trees. And as they ran, the last one slipped through, colder than the rest. Not child. Not adult. Something else entirely. Right at his ear. "You're almost mine." The shepherd dragged forward with desperate strength, claws tearing the moss, growl rumbling like a drumbeat. The soldier's arm strained against the leash, rifle lifted high, flashlight beam quivering with each pull. His breath came ragged, tearing through the quiet that was no longer quiet at all. Because the voices had changed. They no longer came in pleading bursts, or fragile whimpers. They came in surges, louder, overlapping, pressing into his skull like water filling a drowning man's lungs. "I'm lost in the woods. I'm lost in the woods. Help me. Help me." Some high. Some low. Some so deep they rattled his bones. The soldier's boots faltered. He clenched his teeth, whispering sharp through the noise, "Stay steady. Stay forward." The shepherd barked furiously, jerking him toward a narrow cut in the trees, his nose locked, his body shaking with warning. And then it happened. The mist in front of them thinned for just a heartbeat. The beam of his light pushed through. And there it was. A figure. Still. Upright. Small. Child-sized. The soldier froze, chest seizing. His rifle steadied on instinct, barrel trained, finger curling. The shepherd erupted, lunging at the leash with savage force, barking as though his throat would tear. His teeth gnashed at the air, snapping invisible skin. The figure stood motionless. Head tilted. Arms limp. The soldier's light shook. His whisper cracked. "Stay there. Don't move." The voice answered. Soft. Trembling. Childlike. "I'm lost." The soldier's chest tore open. His boots slid forward half a step. The figure flickered. For an instant, it stretched, too tall, too thin, arms too long. Then back again, small and still. The shepherd howled, hurling himself sideways, refusing to let the soldier step closer. His body screamed no. The soldier's breath rasped, fog spilling from his mouth. Sweat stung his eyes. His heart pounded like gunfire in his ears. The voice came again. This time deeper. Older. Mocking. "I'm lost in the woods." The figure didn't move. But its head tilted further, almost unnaturally, as if bones bent wrong. The soldier's rifle trembled. His finger flirted the trigger. His instinct screamed at him to put a round through it, end the waiting. But another part of him, the part that still clung to the child's cry, froze him still. He barked, voice breaking. "Show me your hands." Silence. Then the whispers surged, hundreds of them, shrieking through the forest, through the trees, through him. "Help me. I'm lost. Don't leave me. Help me." The soldier clamped his hands over his ears, beam jerking wild, rifle shaking. His knees buckled. The shepherd launched forward again, snarling, snapping his jaws inches from the figure. His leash stretched taut, muscles rippling, body insane with fury. And then, for the first time, the figure moved. Not a step. Not a run. Just its head. Slowly. Turning to face him. The soldier's chest collapsed. The face was wrong. Features blurred, shifting, one moment a child's, the next an adult's, then something with no features at all. And it spoke. Not in a whisper. Not a plea. But in his own voice. "You're lost too." The shepherd leapt, teeth gnashing, dragging him backward with savage strength. The soldier staggered, beam breaking off the figure. When the light returned, the figure was gone. Mist swallowed the space hole. But the words lingered, echoing. Inside. You're lost too. The mist thickened until the flashlight beam looked like it was cutting water. The soldier's lungs dragged in air that tasted of soil and rot. His hands trembled on the rifle, barrel swaying with every pounding beat of his heart. The shepherd's body was a live wire, hackles raised, lips peeled back, leash stretched to its last inch. His growls were no longer warning but war, a savage sound that begged for action. The figure wasn't there anymore. Not exactly. The trees bent with its absence, the air heavier where it had stood. And yet, the whispers hadn't stopped. They multiplied. Layered. Some soft, like a child's bedtime cry. Some deep, like a man's command. I'm lost in the woods. Help me. Don't leave me. Each one closer, tighter, pressing against his skull. The soldier shouted over them, voice raw. Show yourself. For a heartbeat, silence. Then, there it was again. The figure. This time closer. Just 20 feet ahead, standing still between two leaning pines. The head tilted again, too far, bones bending past nature. The soldier's breath locked. His finger curled tighter on the trigger. The shepherd snapped his jaws, lunging backward now, dragging his master away from the thing. His body wasn't pointing forward anymore, it was pulling hard left, toward the darker, narrower trail hidden between the trees. The soldier's body tore in two. His training screamed at him, engage. Neutralize. Confirm threat. His instinct whispered, follow the dog. He knows. His boots rooted in the soil. His pulse thundered in his ears. The figure didn't move. But its voice shifted, sliding between tones. First, the fragile whimper of a child. I'm lost. Then, the soldier's own voice. You're lost too. His knees weakened. He stumbled half a step, light shaking. The shepherd roared, barking with such fury it shredded the silence. He lunged sideways, leash jerking the soldier so hard the rifle barrel veered off target. The soldier hissed through his teeth. God damn it. The figure flickered. Small. Tall. Gone. Back again. The voices surged into a chorus, shrieking through the forest. Help me. I'm lost. You're lost. Stay with me. The soldier's chest tore apart under the noise. His finger pressed hard against the trigger, almost breaking it. But then the shepherd did something he hadn't done all night. He whined. Not fear. Not weakness. A sharp, urgent plea. His eyes locked on his handlers, wide, desperate. His body still pulled hard left, but his gaze begged, trust me. The soldier's throat closed. His vision blurred. His finger hovered on the trigger. One more second and he would fire. Then the figure spoke. Not child. Not adult. Not him. Something deeper. Older. Choose. The soldier's lungs seized. Sweat rolled cold down his back. His mind fractured under the weight of the word. He could fire now, confront, see what lurked. Or he could obey the dog, break every instinct, every piece of training, and run blind into the trail. His choice came in a whisper, hoarse and shaking. I choose you, boy. He yanked the leash, hard, almost ripping his arm from its socket. The shepherd surged left, pulling him into the hidden trail, away from the figure, away from the voice. The soldier didn't look back. Not once. But as the forest swallowed them, the voice followed. Louder. Furious. You chose wrong. The hidden trail was barely a trail at all, just a gap between trees, narrow, strangled with vines, the ground soft with rot. The shepherd barreled through, dragging the soldier into its throat. Branches whipped across his face, needles tore his sleeves, but he didn't stop. He couldn't. Behind them, the forest screamed. The voices that once pleaded now roared in fury. You chose wrong. You chose wrong. You chose wrong. The sound wasn't whispers anymore, it was thunder, rattling the trunks, splitting the silence into shards. The soldier's chest heaved. His boots pounded soft earth, his rifle clutched tight, flashlight beam shaking wildly as he ran. The shepherd lunged ahead, body low, nose driving them deeper into the black. The ground bucked underfoot. Roots tore upward, snagging his ankles, trying to drag him down. He stumbled, caught himself, kept moving. The mist thickened behind them, swirling like smoke, chasing them through the trees. Shadows bent and stretched inside it, tall, thin, wrong in every motion. The soldier's throat burned. He whispered through clenched teeth. Keep running, boy, keep running. The shepherd snarled, barking once as if to answer, then dragged harder, claws tearing soil. The voices rose again, a chorus of rage. You left me. You left me. You left me. They came from every side now, shrill and heavy, pressing into his ears, his skull, his chest. The soldier shouted back, half to silence them, half to himself. You're not real. The forest disagreed. A tree trunk to his left split down the middle with a crack like gunfire, sap spraying across his sleeve. Another to his right shuddered, bark peeling as if something enormous pressed inside it. The shepherd barked furiously, lunging forward, dragging him past. His leash vibrated with the dog's desperate energy. The soldier's beam caught movement ahead. For a second, his chest collapsed. A figure. Child-sized again. Standing in the trail. Still. Waiting. The voices hushed. Then, soft. Small. Please, don't leave me here. The soldier's boots faltered. His light fixed. His finger twitched on the trigger. The shepherd launched forward, snarling, teeth bared, leash jerking his master so hard it nearly tore his arm. His whole body screamed no. The soldier's heart split open. The child's cry clawed at him, begging him to turn, to stop, to rescue. But he forced his boots forward, muscles screaming, dragging himself past. As they tore past the spot, his light cut across it. Nothing. No child. Just mist. The voices exploded into screams, furious now, overlapping until the forest shook. You chose wrong. You chose wrong. You chose wrong. The soldier's ears rang. His vision blurred. His legs pounded on instinct alone. The shepherd didn't falter. He dragged them forward with raw, unshakable conviction. The forest fought back. Branches bent low, slashing at his face. Roots ripped free, tangling his boots. The ground opened in shallow cracks, soil shifting under him. Still, they pushed. Still, they ran. The voices chased them like a storm, pressing so close it felt like hot breath on his neck. Then, just above the chaos, one voice rose higher. Not child. Not mocking. Something deeper. You belong here now. The soldier's chest locked. His boots nearly stopped. But the shepherd barked, snapping him back, jerking the leash so hard it tore him forward again. The forest screamed behind them, louder, louder, until suddenly, abruptly, it stopped. Silence. Total. Crushing. The soldier staggered, chest tearing for air, ears ringing in the void. The shepherd froze, nose high, body rigid, growl rumbling low. The soldier turned his beam forward. The trees ended. Open space waited ahead. But behind them, in the mist, something shifted. Heavy. Patient. Waiting. The trail spat them out into open ground so suddenly the soldier almost stumbled. His boots broke through the final clutch of roots and landed in damp grass instead of moss. The air shifted too, lighter, cleaner, touched by moonlight. For the first time in hours, he saw sky. The clearing stretched wide, a bowl of grass and stone, the tree-line pulled back like a wall. The moon hung fat and pale above, spilling silver across the earth. Mist swirled at the edges but didn't cross the boundary. The shepherd stopped dead at the center of the clearing, chest heaving, tongue lolling, ears pinned high. He turned his body toward the tree-line, nose flaring, a low growl vibrating through him. His eyes never left the dark. The soldier bent, hands on his knees, lungs tearing for air. Sweat ran cold down his face, soaking his collar. His rifle hung loose at his chest, his flashlight beam jittering on the grass before dropping entirely. Silence pressed in, heavy but different now. Not chasing. Not screaming. Waiting. He forced air through his teeth. "We made it, boy, we made it." The shepherd didn't relax. His body stayed taut, fixed on the mist that curled just beyond the first row of pines. His growl didn't rise, didn't fall, it just held steady, like a warning that the battle wasn't done. The soldier straightened, rifle steady again, though his arms shook. He scanned the tree-line with slow, deliberate sweeps. Nothing moved. No figures. No flickers. But the stillness felt worse than motion. He whispered, voice cracking. "Say something. One last time. Say it." For a moment, nothing. The silence thickened. Then it came. Soft. Small. Childlike. "I'm lost in the woods." The soldier's throat locked. His boots planted. The shepherd erupted, barking furiously into the trees, body snapping with rage. His voice split the night, savage, primal. The soldier's finger flirted the trigger, rifle trembling. His body screamed to fire into the dark, to end whatever stalked them. But he held. The voice came again, softer now, almost gentle. "You chose wrong." The soldier's chest tightened. His vision blurred. He whispered back, raw. "I chose to live." The forest didn't answer. Not with rage. Not with screams. Just one last whisper, drifting on the wind, so faint it felt like breath on his neck. "I'll wait." The soldier's skin crawled. His boots backed one step, then another, until his heel pressed into the shepherd's flank. The dog's growl faded, replaced with silence, his eyes still locked forward. The soldier tugged the leash, voice cracked but steady. "Let's go." They walked. Slowly. Carefully. Out of the clearing, away from the trees. The whispers didn't follow. But he knew, just as the dog knew, that the forest wasn't finished. It would wait. For the next step. For the next voice. For anyone else who wandered too deep. And maybe, one night, it would wait for him again.